In this video, we are going to continue to talk about what you need to do to win the outer game. And one of the things that you're going to need to do is to tackle big goals. And we want to talk about this just from the outset as something that is necessary in order for you to be productive. You have to have both big goals and small goals. In other words, you have to have a sense for what you are trying to accomplish, what your day means in the context of what you're ultimately trying to accomplish. So, in other words, if you're trying to get a promotion or if you are trying to build a business that lasts a lifetime, you should have goals that will get you to that point. You should have goals that allow you to reach that big goal. And so you have to set big goals. And what you also have to do is to set goals and sub goals. So, in other words, you have to set goals that will get you to those big goals. And if you are always working on something that will lead you to get to your ultimate vision, your ultimate goal, you will be productive. Now, one of the things that you'll want to do as you consider goals, and you might have heard of this of this system called the SMART P system, and I'm going to go over this briefly to talk about how you want to set goals and how you know your goal is effective. Now, SMART P, each of the letters actually stands for one aspect of what you want to think through in terms of setting goals. The S stands for specific. So you want your goal to be specific. You don't want it to be vague. You want it to be something that you can focus on because your mind and your brain zeroes in on a specific goal and will help you to move toward accomplishing it. Now, one of the other things that goes right along with that is measurable. Measurable. So you want to make sure that it's something that you can quantify. So if you are going to do something in a specific period of time, if you want to earn a specific amount of money, you don't want to set a goal to earn more money. You want to set a goal to let's say $10,000 in a month or $20,000 in a month. So you want to make sure that your goal is measurable. It's something that you can quantify. Now, the next thing that you want to consider is the A, and the A means actionable. It's something that you can do. It's something that you can really accomplish. So it isn't something that is abstract. It's not something that will lead to something internal. So in other words, you don't want to set a goal that leads to a better personality. That's not necessarily something that is actionable. It's not even measurable. Now, in order to set goals, you'll want to consider the R, which is relevant. Relevant. So if you are setting a goal in order for you to attain, in order for you to earn more money in your business, then your goal should be relevant to that fact. So if you know that it takes you to create 7 articles per day, then you want that goal to be relevant to your big goal. Now, the other thing that you want to do is, now there are 2 more letters, and there is a T and a P. And both are very necessary when you start to think about accomplishing your goal. Now, the T actually stands for time bound. So you want to make sure that if you have these goals that they are time bound. You don't want to set a goal and then leave it to chance. You don't want to set a goal and leave it for any time you'd accomplish it. You want to set a specific time so that you'll focus on getting to it at a specific point. And of course, the last aspect is the P. And the P actually stands for persistence. And it's actually the quality that you'll need in order to accomplish the goal. You'll need to be persistent. You have to expect obstacles. Remember, we talked about in another video, we talked about a book by a gentleman named Ryan Holiday, that you have to anticipate obstacles, and typically the obstacle is the way. It's not something that you want to work around. So now, once you actually get to your big goals, you'll want to identify the next 3 steps that you need to take in order to accomplish the goal. Okay, so now that you've set your SMART P goal, you have something that you need to do. You want to identify the next 3 steps that you need to take in order to accomplish that goal. Then you'll want to assign a completion date for each step. So you need to decide that each of these things are going to be done within a specific period of time. And you want to really set them high on your priority list. You want to make sure that you are doing things that are going to lead you to the desired results that you want to have in your life and in your business. Then you'll need to make yourself accountable. Now, in some cases, this may mean making yourself accountable to someone else. May mean making yourself accountable to a business person. May mean making yourself accountable to a friend or an associate or even someone who has a similar goal. But by making yourself accountable to your goal, you are saying that you are serious. When you decide that you're not going to be accountable, what you're really doing is you're leaving yourself wiggle room. You're leaving yourself room not to do as you desire to do. You're leaving yourself room actually not to work on your goal, but to work on everything else other than your goal. So make yourself accountable when you want to tackle a big goal. Then, of course, you want to take the next step. So you've identified those 3 next steps. As soon as you have them identified, as soon as you have assigned them a completion date, don't rest. Start the next step immediately. That will start you moving toward actually accomplishing the goal that you want to, and it'll keep you from procrastinating and really putting something between you and getting to the results you actually want. And every time that you go through this process, you want to repeat the process. You should be constantly accomplishing goals. Now, in conclusion, we've gone over a number of things in terms of you being able to tackle the big goals. We talked about the fact that you need big goals in order to focus on the things that you actually want to accomplish. So you'll need to set goals and sub-goals. So you'll need to have goals that will get you to your goal. When you set your goals, you want to use the criteria SMART P. And then you'll want to, as soon as you do that, as soon as you have your goals, you start identifying the next 3 steps that will help you to accomplish your goal. Then assign yourself a completion date for each step. Make yourself accountable to someone else in order to accomplish your goal. Then immediately upon making yourself accountable, take the next step. And every time you accomplish a goal, start the process again in order to accomplish your goal. So what's your action step for this video? Well, decide on what your big goal is. What is your big vision for your life or for your business? Then what you'll need to do is to set one goal that will help you to accomplish that big goal. Decide on something you are going to focus on and walk through each and every one of these steps all the way through making yourself accountable and getting started. That is your action step. Decide on what your big goal is, then set a sub goal that will help you to accomplish your big goal. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video.